everybody, hope you're doing marvelously well. Yes, we're back at Sunset Sound, as you can see, with Mr. Darrell Thorp. Darrell is going to be recording Steve Maggiora on vocals and keys live, with David Piltch on stand-up bass, Justin Norman on guitar, and of course the wonderful Blair Sinta. And we're going to be using Darrell's personal collection of mics, which are all Lauten audio, individually, whole band playing live. And then we're also going to do a full take using just one mic. So we're going to do a one mic of the whole band playing in a room, and then separate individually mic'd instruments as well. It's going to be a lot of fun, and what's great about it is not only are you going to listen to it and watch the band do the run through, you can also download the tracks. Somewhere around about here, you can download these tracks and listen to Darrell's engineering. You're going to have a breakdown of how it was recorded, very little EQ or compression on anything. It was pretty darn subtle. You're going to be able to download them, you're going to mix them yourself, and you're going to hear the difference between the one mic and all of the individual miking. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's check it out. So this is where Steve's sitting, obviously, and performing. We're doing live vocals, live piano. And what is this beautiful mic here?
So this is the Lauten Audio Clarion microphone. It is the, because I'm so bad with the model numbers, it's the FC357 Clarion FET.
Oh, it's a FET.
It is a FET, yeah.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. And it's one of the microphones in his, it's an older mic in his collection.
Yeah.
And he designed it to kind of be the 47 FET killer.
Wonderful.
Which it does quite well.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, no disrespect to vintage Neumann owners, it's just so expensive for a FET.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I like it when, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And what's it got on it? It's got,
So it just has a pad, and then you can change the polar pattern to Omni, Figure 8, and Cardioid.
Beautiful.
Which I'm currently in Cardioid. So it's just a pad.
So it's a 47 and a 48, all in one.
Yep.
God bless it.
Yep.
Now what do we have on the piano
so here on the piano, there's the newer Lauten Audio. It's his Series Black line. It's his entry-level, affordable microphone.
Oh, wow.
I know they're under, I don't remember the price off the top of my head, but I know they're under $500 for a tube condenser.
Really?
Yes, they're fixed pattern, cardioid. They don't have pads in them, but however, the only thing that he wanted to do in the design is he did what he calls a high cut and a low cut. And the high cut is not your typical high cut or low pass on a microphone. It's I believe it's up at 12K. His thinking was behind it was, I want a singer in his living room to tame down some of the ambient noise.
I see.
So you engage the high cut, and it kind of helps control or tame the ambient reverb of your room when you're singing.
Yeah.
Without acoustic treatment. And kind of the same thing goes for the low cut or high pass.
Yep.
Same thing. I think it's around 70 hertz just to maintain that low end rumble in a room.
Absolutely, makes perfect sense.
And then that way it kind of, I remember him telling me about it. It keeps the price point down to where it's a really, really.
Well, if they're less than $500 in their tube, that's pretty miraculous.
Yes.
And they sound fantastic.
They do sound fantastic. I'm a avid Lauten Audio user. I use them in my everyday recording. I'm not.
And these are all your mics.
These are all my mics.
Your personal mics.
I'm not just a spokesman. I beat the hell out of them.
Great.
Guitar amps, loud.
I know. Speaking of which, let's go to guitar.
Speaking of which,
so this is Justin's guitar.
So this is Justin's guitar.
So this
is the Atlantis. This is kind of like his. I would call it his flagship FET microphone. It is a condenser, non-tube. It does have a pad, 10 dB, minus 10 dB, and also a plus 10 dB pad, which is amazing.
It's a great idea.
I've used the example before, I'll say it again. The Foo Fighters record, there was one acoustic song we did.
Yep.
Dave brought in this, I believe it was a Harmony solid top acoustic guitar and started playing the part on it, and that guitar was so quiet.
Wow.
And I immediately kind of scratched my head and thought to myself, like, how am I going to get any gain out of this without any, like a noise floor?
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, where's my Atlantis at? And I drug it over, put it out, and popped it up 10 dB, and then boom, plenty level, still able to compress, add EQ without any noise floor.
That's
it was
amazing.
So that's a great concept. It does have multi-pattern. It's cardioid, omni, and figure 8, which is great. And then last but not least, he has what he calls a multi-voicing switch on the back.
What does that do?
His thought process about microphones was he didn't really want to replace the 47 FET or 47 tube. He didn't want to like clone a 67 or a 47 or an M49. He kind of wanted to do something a little different. So his capsules are tuned a little bit differently than normal. They actually have a little bit less of a dip in the 3K range. So my thing with these mics has always been an instrument that's really harsh, piercing. This will smooth out.
Oh, nice.
Including vocals. So the multi-voicing switch comes into play with, he's got a forward switch, which is an EQ. Basically, it's like a 2-3 dB plus gain add at 12K-ish. Really dark instrument.
Great.
Brighten it up. And then it's hitting your pre. So your pre's kind of getting more exciting.
Excellent.
Then he's got a gentle switch, which takes the top end, knocks it down, I think about a dB and a half, 2 dB, around 10K, and also a more of a mid dip at 3K. So any kind of harsh instrumentation.
What did you set it on the guitar?
Just neutral.
Just neutral.
Just neutral. Last thing is, I've used it on snare top with the forward. It's so genius.
Yeah?
Yeah, just.
That sounds great. I like that idea. I'm going to get to use these.
Yeah. Extremely well versatile. I've used it on snare top. I've used it on kick drum, mono overhead. I've guitar amps, once again, loud guitar amps. It sounds amazing. Vocals, it is a very, very versatile workhorse.
Wonderful.
Microphone in the studio.
That's amazing. All right, now this was the thing that I got quite excited about because I have never used pencil condensers on a stand-up bass before.
And how did you like it?
Sounded phenomenal. Yeah. I've always overthrown things. I've got a 47 and I put my 47 on.
Which sounds great.
It does sound great.
But since we're kind of in the live,
Yeah.
there would have been a lot of bleed.
A lot of bleed.
So the great thing about the pencil thing is more direct signal. I can get right on the bridge. Plus it controls the low end a lot more, which is great in this instantation. I don't get that boomy, like whoa, which does happen. Yeah, because most of the time, as soon as you think of upright bass, you think put them in a closet, put them in an ISO somewhere. Yeah. That way you can put whatever microphone you want on him and crank it up and a little EQ, a little compression, whatever you need. But in this instance, since it's a live thing, I learned this trick from my old boss, Alan Sides at Ocean Way. That's what he always used a pencil on upright bass. And I'm always like, wow, that sounds really...
I never thought about it. I wish I had. And you were saying he used a KM.
Yeah, he would use a KM54 or a Sony 55P, which sounded great.
Great.
So this is the Lauten Audio Series Black LA 120. There's the 120, the 220, and the 320. The 320 is the tube. The 220 is the the condenser version, and then the 120s are the pencil mic version. And the same situation where it's just a high cut and a low cut.
And you're using it flat at the moment?
I'm using it flat at the moment, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, room mics?
Yes.
Tell me what we're going on
Okay,
here.
so we've got another Atlantis, which we talked about on the electric guitar. Then finally you have the Eden, which is the tube version of the Atlantis.
Oh, okay.
A little bit different output transformer. Capsule is the same though, but it's the same. You have the plus and minus 10 dB gain switch, same pattern, polar patterns, but cardioid, omni, figure 8, and also the multi-voicing switch in the back.
Amazing. So what's the setup here with the two? Or have you got one ready to go for the mono?
No, they're both ready to go for the mono. My thing was I was just, when you mentioned to me you wanted like a mono room, I was like, well, let's put both of his more popular arsenal up.
And then you can do an either or and see what you prefer.
Yeah, so everybody can do an either or.
Fantastic. Love that idea.
That was mine. So, and I'm keeping them flat. Here, the pattern switch is set to normal on both of the mics, and then the EQ on the console is flat as well.
Wonderful. All right, and last but no means least on this setup is the
Drums. So, mono overhead, tube condenser is Oceanus. No pad on this guy, but it is multi-pattern. Then you see on the tom mics, the Series Black LA 220s, fixed pattern cardioid, and then the same switches though as far as the high cut and the low cut.
The tom sounded great in there.
And then snare top, doing a 120, kind of a standard operating procedure. I'm like a 57 guy on a snare.
Sure, me too.
But then I got kind of bored and I started putting a 451 on once in a while, an AKG 451, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is rad.
Yeah.
So then I started using the 120, and it's just as rad.
Well, 5 mics on the kit is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I'm a simple mic. This is as extreme as me personally I like to go.
Well, for the Foo Fighter record, did they make you get crazier?
We went a little crazier on that because there was always the thought of let's just put it up and let's have a few options. We'll get sounds as we go depending on what the song is.
Yep.
And then from there, whatever mics we're not using, we'll either inactivate and hide,
right,
or just straight up delete them. Like, yeah, we don't need that. Just kill the track for this song.
Great.
That's what we were doing.
Well, that's good. So you committed. So when it came to mix, it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't like,
And then the kick, I'm just doing an outside mic. It's the same. It's the Clarion, the same, the FET killer, so to speak. The same vocal mic.
The drum sounds phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Well, it doesn't suck with Blair.
Well, of course that helps.
And he's very good at tuning his drums, so the drums do sound great.
Well, it's been, I mean, the first take is phenomenal. And I think we did 3 so of the multi-mic.
Yes.
So going to the single mic for the mono room, which you're gonna print both of them. So
I'm gonna print both of them at the same time.
And you're gonna leave them here?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave them there. I was thinking, let's get the guys back in a second, and then because we may want to move peeps around because I've heard a little bit of level, but I haven't heard the balance.
Sure.
So I want to just check the balance real quick.
Great. And I'm thinking no headphones,
I'm thinking no headphones.
So they all sort of play listening to each other in the room.
Yes.
So it's just like doing a Beach Boys record.
Yeah. Why not? But we're in Studio 1 instead of Studio 3.
Yeah. Exactly. So from left to right, I see you have piano first.
Yeah, so I'm doing a split. These are my record channels.
Yep.
This is my monitor.
Yep.
And so I don't really have anything going on in the monitor besides panning for my mix.
Great.
So should we actually just talk about the record side? Because that's
let's go to the record side. Yeah, definitely.
I'm a big commit guy. As you can see, I'm not afraid of EQ. It goes to 12 for a reason. I will make it go to 12 if I feel like it needs it.
Great.
So we're talking about the piano mics first, which is the LA 320s, left and right. There's no compression, just 10 dB at 6K with a shelf and a little bit of 100.
Yeah.
On a bell curve, just add a little bit of low end to it.
Right.
I want that.
So 10K, some 500, and some 100.
Yep.
Nice.
I just want I wanted the piano to be really bright and just cut through.
Great.
So that's where I'm adding the EQ and no compression.
Wonderful. It says click here, but we weren't using one. We did not use a click. So the vocal, what have you got going on there?
Vocal mic, a little bit of
10K. Yep. I know what you meant.
4 dB at 10K of shelf.
Yeah.
On the EQ.
Yeah.
And then compression-wise, I'm using a classic Uri Blue Stripe 1176.
Wonderful.
Over here. And funny enough, I was, during the last take, I'm a little bit terrible about, I just listened to it, I'm like, well, it sounds really good. It sounds great. I don't hear anything going on, and I look over and the needle's folding over.
It sounded great though.
So then, yeah, that's the whole point. So then bass, we have the Series Black LA 120 microphone, bass channel, and you can see I'm adding 100 hertz, 6 dB at 100 hertz on a shelf, and then a little bump, a 4 dB bump at 3K. I wanted a little bit more that kind of clickety attack out of it.
Understood.
And nothing on the top, but I am compressing with a black face 1176, and I know I'm only hitting about 5 dB there,
Right.
but I'm using slow attack and fast release. That's kind of my stock setting. That's my go-to. And from there, I usually just adjust it. And then guitar, which was the Atlantis, just adding 6 dB at 10K shelf,
Yeah.
EQ. I had a funky channel and I just said screw it. So there's no compression, just EQ.
Great. Well, Justin's a pretty even guitar player.
Yes,
so.
he is.
So some 10K boost, lovely.
Yeah, just to brighten it up. I want the clarity out of it, especially kind of that part. He's like a really jazzy, clean.
Yep.
Want it to be really bright and open.
Beautiful. And then the kick.
So the kick drum, which,
Yep. So no EQ.
no EQ, flat.
Flat as a proverbial
So sounds
pancake.
good.
Snare.
Snare top, which is the LA 120.
Yep.
Lots of top, just to brighten it up, make it crack in the track.
Beautiful. And toms, no EQ on
No
either.
EQ on the toms.
That's actually quite remarkable because the toms sound really good and don't have that low mid or that I have.
No, not with these mics. And then last but not least, the mono overhead, which was the Oceanus.
Yep.
4 dB at 10K on the shelf and 2 dB at 100. Because I want to, most mono overheads sound really small to me, so I'm always trying to make them feel bigger. It's that whole mentality of, I know I'm not going to do it, but if I just had that microphone, I want that mic to feel like the complete kit.
Yeah.
And then from there, I can start adding in my individual parts, like kick in, snare
I understand
top, that kind of thing. The one thing I like to do on the mono overhead is it's the only thing being compressed on the drums by a blue stripe. And it's 10 dB of compression in there going on, especially when it cracks pretty hard.
I like it. I like what it was doing to the snare though.
Yeah, and I think it's it's a fast. I keep the attack really super fast, but I slow the release down
Beautiful.
to make it. Or no, I make the release faster. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it just it's quick and it
You know
sucks back up really quickly. 2 mono rooms, which are just up. There's no EQ and no compression currently on them. The last mix that we heard, were muted, and I think we're gonna go. Oh, and just to speak about we do have real chamber, which is right to that wall right there.
Cool. And we printed that into the mix.
We printed that into the mix.
And do we actually print it as
Oh yeah.
stereo files? Oh yeah, there it is. Great. So you're going to get that as well. Excellent. Rather
So that's
tasty.
just a send off of we're just sending it off of Pro Tools just for usability.
That's amazing. Fantastic.
I've been baptized by fire. I've been going insane. I'm a guitar man with whiskey in hand and drugs in my brain. I've crossed borders and seas, played for princes and thieves, but nothing else matters if you ain't with me. I'm going crazy, crazy for a woman like you. Felt this way before, and that didn't turn out well. So now I'm starting anew. I've been lying here all damn night, dreaming up ways to get back to you. What could I do? What could I say? Is there anything left to make you feel the same? I've been baptized by fire. I've been going insane. I'm a guitar man with whiskey in hand and drugs in my brain. I've crossed borders and seas, played for princes and thieves, but nothing else matters if you ain't with me. I'm going crazy, crazy for a woman said to me, man, you gotta be crazy for speaking your mind. But I can't control my brain, and you might not feel the same, but I don't mind wasting my time. 'Cause what if you knew, and what if I'd stayed? Is there anything left to make you feel the same? I've been baptized by fire, I've been going insane. I'm a guitar man with whiskey in hand and drugs in my brain. I've crossed borders and seas, played for princes and thieves, but nothing else matters if you ain't with me. No, I'm going crazy, crazy for a woman like you. Oh, a woman like you. You know these summer nights in these city lights, they fade away, yeah. So tell me I just might take a flight tonight if I could just see your face. Oh, I've been baptized by fire, I've been going insane. I'm a guitar man with whiskey and drugs in my brain. I've crossed borders and seas, played for princes and thieves, but nothing else matters if you ain't with me. I'm going crazy, crazy for a woman like you. Oh, a woman like you. Woman like you. Lord knows I'm going crazy. Going crazy, crazy. I've been baptized by fire, I've been going insane. I'm a guitar man, whiskey and drugs in my brain. Cross borders and seas, played for princes and thieves. Nothing else matters if you ain't with me. I'm going crazy, crazy for a woman like you. do? What could I say? Is there anything left to make you feel the same? I've been baptized by fire. I've been going insane. My guitar man with whiskey and then and drugs in my brain. I cross borders and seas, playing for princes and thieves. But nothing else matters if you ain't with me. I'm going crazy, crazy. Woman like you. Woman like you. Someone said to me, "When you gotta be crazy for speaking your mind." But I can't control my brain. You might not feel the same, but I don't mind wasting my time. What if you do? What if I'd stayed? Is there anything left to make you feel the same?
What's up?
We're saying, are you happy?
I'm 2 thumbs up happy. I'm 3 thumbs up happy.